Hi, 7th grade. Welcome to lesson 8.4, Solve Problems Using Angle Relationships. By the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to say, I can solve problems involving angle relationships. The intersecting skis form four angles. Here's angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. List all the pairs of angles that share a ray. A ray is one line. So, for example, angle 1 and angle 2 share a ray. Here's another ray. So that means angle 2 and angle 3 share a ray. Here's another ray. That tells me angle 3 and angle 4 share a ray. And lastly, angle 1 and angle 4 share. Suppose the measure of angle 1 increases. What happens to the size of angle 2 or angle 3? So if the size of angle 1 increases, so say that went bigger, that means angle 2 would go from the whole thing to smaller. So if angle 1 increases, then angle 2 decreases. Angles 1 and 3 are connected. They're across from each other. So if angle 1 increases, angle 3 increases. So if angle 1 increases, then angle 3 increases, because it's the same line across. How does the sum of measures of angle 1 and 2 change when one ski moves? When you add them together, this is the whole of 1 and 2. No matter where our line moves, it's still going to be the same black line between 1 and 2. So the sum stays the same. Why does the sum of all four angles stay the same when one of the skis move? Because it equals a total of 360 degrees. Because if you can look at all the angles added together, it gives us a circle. 360 degrees. So a straight line, remember, is 180 degrees. Okay, example number 1. Solve problems involving adjacent and vertical angles. A skewed intersection has two roads that intersect at more than 20 degrees away from 90. Determine whether the road intersection shown is skewed by finding the measures of angle ABC and DBE. So first of all, we need to talk about vertical angles. Vertical angles have equal measures. They are across from each other. So this angle and this angle are equal to each other because they are vertical. Something that helps me remember is they connect with two V's, vertical. Non-overlapping angles that share a ray are called adjacent. Adjacent means next to. So the red angle and the black angle are adjacent. So red plus black are adjacent because they're next to each other. Then, since vertical angles are equal, these two angles are going to be equal to each other, ABC and DBE. So if they tell me that ABC is x plus 35 and DBE equals 2x minus 10, I can write this equation here, set them equal to each other. Then we want to solve for x on both sides. So they added 10 to both sides, plus 10, cancels out on the left, and becomes x plus 45 equals 2x. Because we bring down this x, bring down the 2x, and 35 plus 10 gives us 45. Then I want to get the x's on one side. So I'm going to subtract an x from both sides. Cancels out on the left, bring down the 45. 2x minus x is just x. So x equals 45. Then it says find the measure of the angle in the intersection. So we're just plugging in, substituting. We just found out that x is 45. So we do 45 plus 35, the angle is 80 degrees. Since 80 degrees is within 20 degrees and 90 degrees, the road intersection is not skewed. Angle MNQ and PNR are vertical angles. Let's see where that is. MNQ and PNR. Vertical angles, yep, there they go. Make the V for vertical. Make the V for vertical. So they're vertical angles, which means they are congruent, they are equal. What is the value of x? So vertical angles are congruent. Congruent means equal. So the equation, I can't fit that in there. Oh, maybe I can. 3x minus 6 equals 114 can be used to find x, but we'll rewrite it down here so we can solve for x. We've been practicing this all year, getting x by itself. We need to use our inverse operations and work farthest away. So first we're going to add 6 to both sides. Cancels out on the left, bring down the 3x, equals 114 plus 6 is 120. Then divide both sides by 3, and x equals 40. Why can you use an equation for solving x in the diagram? That's because vertical angles are equivalent. Example number 2. Solve problems involving complementary and supplementary angles. So complementary angles have a sum of 90 degrees. I remember that because the word complementary, C-O-M, you can change into looking like a 90 degree. You can see it in the first 2 letters. There's our 90 if we just add a few lines. Okay? So complementary means they add up to 90. So this 3x plus 36 equals 90. That's where they get this equation from. Solve for x. Subtract 36 on both sides. The 36 cancels out on the left. Bring down the 3x. 90 minus 36 gives us 54. Divide both sides by 3. It cancels out on the left. Bring down the x. 54 divided by 3 equals 18. Next, 2 angles are supplementary. Supplementary has a sum of 180. And again, write that word, supplementary. And in the beginning, we add 2 lines. Here's a line, oh, and a third. Look, 180. So supplementary is 180, complementary is 90. So adding 50 plus x divided by 2 minus 4 is equal to 180. First, they combine like terms. Negative 4 plus 50 gives us positive 46. Solving for x, we got to get rid of the 46 first. So opposite of adding 46 is subtracting. Cancels out on the left. Bring down the x divided by 2. 180 minus 46 gives us 134. Then instead of dividing by 2, the inverse is to multiply by 2. So it cancels out on the left, and we get x equals 268. Example 3. Find the measure of an unknown angle. Use the vertical angles to find the value of x. So they tell me that this is vertical to this. Remember, vertical angles are equivalent. So they set 6x equal to 2x plus 16. That's where they got this equation. Solving for x, they subtracted 2x from both sides. Cancels out on the right. 6x minus 2x equals 4x. Bring down the 16. Divide both sides by 4. So x equals 4. We want to find PAR. PAR is this angle here. But if you look, Together, these two angles form a right angle. So we just found that x equals 4. We're going to take that 4 and plug it back in to 2x plus 16. So 2 times 4 plus 16. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 16 is 24. So this angle is equal to 24 degrees. Since I know that it makes a right angle, that's complementary, equals 90 degrees. So that's why we can write 24 plus whatever it is that we're looking for is equal to 90. Subtract 24 from both sides. Cancels out on the left. And the angle that we're looking for is 66. Try it. Measure of angle 1 is 4 times the measure of angle 2. So if measure of angle 2 is x, measure of angle 1 is 4x. And they are complementary. Complementary means they equal 90 degrees. Measure of angle 1 and measure of angle 3 are vertical angles. So if measure of angle 1 is 4x, measure of angle 3 is 4x. And they're equal to each other. Angles 3 and 4 are supplementary, which means when you add them together, angle 3 plus angle 4, they equal 180 degrees. That's what supplementary means. So angle 3 is 4x, plus, we don't know what angle 4 is, but we know together they equal 180. So what are the measures of the 4 angles? So this was a lot of information. Let's start from the beginning. Measure of angle 1 is 4 times measure of angle 2, and they're complementary. So 4x plus x equals 90. Remembering that this is 1x, we can combine like terms. 4x plus 1x is 5x equals 90. Divide both sides by 5. And x equals, I believe it to be 18. Let's see, 90 divided by 5. Yes, x equals 18. Which tells me that measure of angle 1 is 4 times 18, 4x. 18 times 4 gives us 72 degrees. Measure of angle 2 is equal to just 1x, so it's just equal to 18 degrees. Measure of angle 3, remember, is the same thing as measure of angle 1, so that's also 72 degrees. And then measure of angle 3 and 4 are supplementary. So angle 3 plus angle 4 equals 180. Well, we already found out that measure of angle 3 is 72. So 72 plus whatever it is we're looking for is equal to 180. Solving for that, I don't want to use x. Let's use a different variable because we already used x. Let's use b. We're going to subtract 72 from both sides. Oops. So then we get, this cancels out, b equals 108. So measure of angle 4 is 108 degrees. Okay, key concept. This ray is shared by angles 1 and 2, so they are adjacent. Adjacent means next to. The sum of angles 3 and 2 is 90, so they are complementary. Complementary means added up together. Angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 90. Angles 1 and 4 are opposite each other, so they are vertical. Vertical means they are equal. Angles 4 and 5 form a straight line and add up to 180 degrees. They are supplementary. Angle 4 plus angle 5 equals 180. Okay, 7th grade, let's say it. I can solve problems involving angle relationships. Have a great day.